All right, it's a pleasure to welcome Shelley Gruning from Be Greater Than Average, and she has brought some friends and robots today. So, Shelley, let's hear it.
Thanks, Paul. Good morning, everyone at 1 Million Cups. I am pleased to be here today. It really is sort of an update of what we're up to. So some of you have helped me on this journey to building a business, and I'm going to kind of give you an update of what we're up to. And I'm coming fresh off of Louisville, Kentucky. No, I was not at the Derby, although I thought about it. However, glad I wasn't there. But fresh off of a robotics competition that was pretty exciting, and I'll share that with you as well this morning. So the first thing I want to do is tell you I have a secret. I have a really big secret. Can you guys keep a secret? No. All right, well, let's try. Come on. All right, so my secret is when people think of me or introduce me, they often think of robots, right? Now, working on robots, students working on robots, building robots. This was actually just happened in February of this year. It's a 4-robot pileup because they're all trying to get up here to this yellow platform. That was pretty exciting and epic, all right? People think, my secret is that people think that I do what I do because robots are cool. They are cool. However, why I really do what I do, and the secret is that I care so much about our state and about the young people in our state. And so this picture was taken just last week, and this represents all of the students that qualified to go to a world's robotics competition where there were 580 teams, and these kids represented you and me on the world stage. That's pretty cool. That is why I do what I do. I'm excited because 2 of them are here with us today, and you can ask them lots more questions later, and you can actually even see their robot and hear about their journey, check out their trophies. But maybe even more importantly, and that is a picture. This is the first time last week, the first time ever that a New Mexico team has ever won an award at this robotics competition. So that was pretty exciting. I'm not gonna lie, right? Thank you. It's really to their credit, the students that I work with, and it's been an exciting journey. Most people think it's all about robots, however, and in fact, if you talk to these students and take time to get to know them, you'll find out that it actually has very little to do with robots. Yeah, we build robots and we compete with robots, and they are very knowledgeable in that area. But if you talk to most of them and the hundreds and hundreds of kids that I meet and the parents that I meet, it's actually about building their confidence, building relationships. We built a relationship with a team from Australia there that I am confident. You know, they came and asked us if we would be STEM sisters, like their sister cities. They want to do that with us here. And so our world, as we know as entrepreneurs, is getting smaller because we are connecting with people from all over the world, and our young people need to be out there and learning those skills. All right, so another secret is that a lot of people might think that I do what I do because of the trophies. But here in New Mexico, this is the secret. I really don't like the trophies, y'all. It just means I have to do a lot of dusting, okay? There are literally lots of trophies at my house. All those trophies live at my house because that's kind of our headquarters. It started in our home. It's a small business that really grew out of our home and our passion. We have lots of really great pictures and lots of opportunities. We offer camps and classes. So the great thing is, and the secret is, that I'm building young entrepreneurs. So these 2 young people that are up here in front of you today, they don't just build robots. The robot competes, but they actually have to go find sponsors. They have to develop a marketing presentation. They have to write an engineering notebook. And all of that leads to entrepreneurial skills because they are going to be our future workforce, right? We are building our future STEM workforce. And so in the summer, we offer summer camps and classes, drone building, robot building, come ask us about it. We have the whole summer camp schedule here. We also, in building our STEM workforce, we offer a Rubik's Cube competition. All right, and we offer our Life Launch Academy, because my real passion and the reason I got into this business was my background is in career education. I want to help young people launch their lives, and that's how I do it, through being a young entrepreneur. We also, you can listen to our podcast, STEM Southwest podcast. Paul has been a guest. John Mearswa has been a guest. If you know of anybody who might be an interesting guest for STEM Southwest podcast. We are trying to raise up STEM and our reputation in the Southwest. So one last thing that I want to share with you is that we have, this Friday, we have an amazing event coming up where you could drive a robot too. The students will show you how to drive a robot, and you can come check it out at Explora. We're doing Bots and Brews, and one of our sponsors is Bosque Brewing. We're very thankful. I want to share with you, this is one of our prizes. Jared actually made this over at the Fuse Maker Space, right, Jared? Because he knows how to use all that maker equipment. That's what it's about, building those students. And we have a lot of fun going on, and we have a special offer for you as well. I believe we have a buy one, get one on tickets, so we'll talk more about that later. But you can get hold of us this way. How many of you have ever had a kid come to one of our camps? Anybody? Awesome. Okay. Usually a few in the crowd. And how many of you ever got involved in STEM learning in your lifetime in some way? Awesome. Fantastic. All right. So you know the power of STEM learning, and you can come out and you can support Be Greater Than Average and our nonprofit R4 Creating on Friday at Bots and Brews. That's what I've got for you all this morning at 1 Million Cups.
All right, so there's plenty to talk about here, so I'm going to remind you to repeat the question for our friends on Facebook. And when you have a question, please say your name and who you're with, if you're with an organization. Thank you.
Awesome. Questions? Yes. Sure. So how it came together was it was really birthed out of the idea from the kids. They're like, we love building robots. We should teach other kids. And I said, great idea. Let's figure this out. And so we built a business. You know, Bethany's in charge of our outreach. We go out and outreach. Last year alone, we outreached to over 11,000 people in our state. And so we go out and do a lot of outreach and a lot of public speaking, but then also we run camps. We have 19 summer camps. We have a summer camp schedule. We have posters and flyers up here. But literally the students, Jared had an idea last year. He wanted to run a drone camp. So I said, let's build a curriculum to run a drone camp. We did it. It went so well. We're doing it again this year. We have robot building camps, and we have media arts camps. A lot of our students have I've been doing this since 2005, so a lot of our students have graduated and actually are out in the workforce. One of the cool pictures that I didn't get up there was a picture of my older daughter and my younger daughter and myself. My older daughter was actually working the event as a professional videographer and editor for the robotics company. She got that job because of her robotics experience. So we kind of merge it all together. In the summer, we're really busy offering camps and classes. I don't know that I've explained that, but they are day camps. Thank you. So, and they're usually week-long. Most of them are week-long. Students come in. We use a competitive model. So they come in, and they get divided up into teams, and their team builds a robot, and at the end of the week, we have a competition. And that makes it fun, as well as character building. So, teachers, I train them. All the students really are the teachers of the camps. They're supervised by myself and a group of mostly moms that are part of our organization. that have learned the curriculum. We're actually right now working on getting that curriculum online so that we can offer it to other teams from across the country so that they can run our camps in their locations as fundraisers for their teams. So, yes.
Well, my question was, how do you fund yourself? And are your camp programs sufficient, or do you get grants or whatever from other sources?
Right. So the question is, how do we fund ourselves? We fund ourselves. First, it started off with we were just charging for camps, and we do still do that. We use that model. Parents pay for camps. We have an amazing camp program, but it's not inexpensive because it's not like soccer camp where you can have one or two adults supervising, 30, 50 kids. This is really hands-on learning and intensive in that way. So in the last 2 years, we've started a nonprofit so that we can not only help the students here, but that we can help students and coaches from across the state. You may or may not know many of the STEM coaches that are out there that are working with our kids are not compensated in any way. It's a volunteer kind of thing. And I would like to change that. Frankly, we get onto the world stage, we go to these world's competitions, and we meet people from other countries. Last week I met a team where in order for a student to be on the team, the student had to find a sponsor for $15,000. Yeah, so it's really competitive out there, and it's I would like to build it in a way that our kids in New Mexico could have that opportunity and could not only gain from the experience, but also represent our state in a way that was powerful. So we are on search for grants, and we have been doing a lot of grant applications. We did just get a grant from Sandia National Labs, which I'm very thankful for them as a sponsor. We've had a lot of mostly small businesses have been our sponsors over the years. We have been to PNM. We did apply, so we'll see what happens, right? We've been to a few. But yeah, no loans. We've been to a few, but I would love, that's one of the things that I would love, the way that you could help me is if you hear of an opportunity like that, or you know of a business that might want to sponsor this sort of program where we're building these kids, and building our STEM workforce pipeline, I'd appreciate that. So. Yes, so to run one camp, it costs about $5,000. So if you're looking for a business, if you're a business or a person wanting to help support one of the camps, that would be amazing. With Sandia's help this year, we're giving a lot of scholarships away, which is really wonderful. So, in the back. Have we had a competition for robots that dust trophies? That would be really epic. What I say is, if you don't own one of those Roombas, those are like life-changing. I'm just going to put that out there, but that is one of my top asked questions. People always ask me, have we built a robot to clean up? Not yet, but this one can't, but we do have others that I do encourage kids that way actually at our camps. I'm like, look, you can pick up that ball. You could actually use a robot to pick up the junk off your bedroom floor, right? It's possible. So, yes. We're going to get on that. Jared, get on that, right? Bethany? Yeah. There was some, yes. We are not advertising and marketing enough. I think that that's one of the things I'd like to ask you all to help with is if you could join some of our Facebook group and maybe help us share and spread the word, spread the STEM love out there. I do know our numbers and be happy to talk with anybody about that. I honestly haven't checked in the last 2 weeks because I've been a little preoccupied, but that's my husband's role in our podcast. But we have had downloads from almost every continent. We have had downloads from nearly every state in the nation. We're slowly growing that podcast, but it is starting to ramp up. And we saw a lot of growth. This competition that we actually just went to, it was kind of funny because a woman came up to me and she said, "Do you have a podcast?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah." The president of the nonprofit that runs the competition that we were at, we had interviewed him, and he shared it with the entire community. So, the word about STEM in the Southwest is growing. If you read any of Richard Branson's book, that's why he chose to locate here, and they will be coming here soon. If you don't know that already, we're about to start launching into space. We really are, and there's some exciting things in the forefront for STEM in New Mexico in specific. But yes.
So you mentioned a Facebook group. What group is this?
We have a couple. We have each one of these organizations. Be Greater Than Average is our LLC. R4 Creating is our nonprofit. Bots and Brews is the event. And STEM Southwest is the podcast. And all of those have Facebook groups. And if you can't, we have cards with that information on it. If anybody wants a card to take with them today, I would love it if they would listen and rate the podcast and share it. And if you know somebody who could be a guest, that would be really awesome. I want to take just a moment to thank you to the sponsors who've helped us out. I know New Mexico Tech Council has helped us out. We handed out these buttons at the event last week, and Dr. Medina has been helping us out with our Bots and Brews event, and as well as Clark Consulting. Thank you, Sherry, for your help with that. Yes.
Paul Sauter from Ecstasy. So can you tell us, for those of us who have never been to a robot competition, what happens? Is there a particular task the robot has to do, and how is it judged and scored?
Thank you, Paul. Yes. So if you could imagine going to the pit, how many of you have ever been to the pit to a basketball game or maybe to a soccer game? It's like that, except for there's robots on the floor. And it's crazy. Like, the energy is insane. The kids are so excited, but there's so much camaraderie and what I call cooperation. Anyway, the robots, each competition, they're tasked with a different challenge. So you don't use the same robot year after year, but you do use knowledge that you've developed and research that you do. So this robot in particular had to pick up balls off the ground. It had to shoot them at flags across and change the color of the flag. So each robotics competition has kind of a different theme, and we compete in several different competitions. The competition in the fall, where you saw almost 40 kids on that team, that competition, they use a different science theme every year. So on top of building robots, the students are learning about recycling. This year it was all about why we need to clean up our ocean gyres and how much plastic trash is out there. We've had laundry quandary. We've had what is some of the space shuttle missions and things like that, where they're solving real problems in their communities using robots. So having to think creatively. So basically, the kids find out what the challenge is. We found out last week what next year's challenge is, and their minds and brains are going full throttle already. They've developed the robot. They're sending me wish lists of things that they'd like to buy, and can we afford it so that the next year's robot could compete and do even better. So, and that's kind of the idea. It builds year after year. That's why we've touched more than 1,000 students through our program. And those are students, one just got a job with Sandia, making 6 figures. It's making a difference in our community, not just about the money and the trophies, but those are outward signs of what's really happening. Scholarships and opportunities that are opening doors for kids. So anyway, If you haven't been to a robotics competition, you really should come to one. So get on our page and find out when we're going, because we're always at them, or at least watch the videos. You could go to our Facebook page and see tons of robot competition videos, or come this summer to one of our camps and watch that, because it's so fascinating to watch kids thinking and figuring out problem solving and applying math and engineering knowledge that they didn't even know that they had because they didn't think they liked math, right? So, yes.
John Sanchez here, Now Digital. So I want to kind of bring it back to, I don't see like a couple other social medias up there, ones that are going to give you a little bit more of an interactable presence. And so
Yes.
that's something definitely that I think, even with this competition that recently passed, if you had video of it, you know, people would really jump on that. And there's plenty of feel-good platforms out there that would take on stories like that. So I definitely feel like my suggestion would be to start digging into that, so that, because that could be a source of financial abundance for the organization.
Fantastic. So he's saying that he notices there aren't a whole lot of other social media, diversity in social media platforms up here. We do have some Instagram and Twitter, but they're not as active because it is still sort of small business. The kids are helping me run a lot of it, the websites and things like that. I agree with you. Like, we need to get out there and do more. If there's anybody in here that would like to volunteer and help out in that way, that would be amazing. But yes, we do need to get into more of the dig into those other social media platforms. Okay, all right, fantastic, thank you. Awesome. Anybody else?
So we have two questions for you.
Yes.
So it's my pleasure to ask you New Mexico State question, red or green?
Green.
Green it is. And please, again, what can this community do for you?
I think really just helping us get the word out and sharing and supporting in that way. We really need that kind of support. And you can go out and you can see Sherry today and buy a Bots and Brews ticket. Come Friday night. We have a special code, BOGO, buy one, get one. Yes, you get a half price ticket today. And then come talk to the students and ask them really hard questions. Because that's how they won the Inspire Award last week. Because adults engaging.
Thank you very much. Let's hear it again for Shelley.